Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Yeah, you say that. You say that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host, Eric. How are you this evening? Good. Let's get to the news so we can get to the funny memes. The White House is currently teasing America with tales of, I don't know, some kind of student loan forgiveness. And I guess I should be happy about that, but I'm just too cynical. I'm just too cynical. And I don't even, and I've lost my screen sharing ability. Here we go. There we go. Back to this. Okay, so take that out in post. Yay. Yay. Hi, I'm going to try that again. Hi, I'm going to try it one more time. Now on to the news from Facebook for the Blind for August 23rd, 2022. The top 5 stories today: the 2 men convicted in that plot to kidnap Michigan's governor. You remember that when that happened back in 2020? Well, they were convicted of conspiracy to kidnap today. And the White House has been teasing a student loan announcement for Wednesday, which I should be excited about, but I'm cynical. The National Archives has entered into I can't even follow the number of subpoenas. There are subpoenas flying back and forth between the National Archives and the Department of Justice, and some of them are from Trump's lawyers to try and slow down the examination of the evidence seized at Mar-a-Lago, and some of them say that there's even more stuff that needs to be seized, which is unbelievable.
There's everywhere.
You know? The U.S. Embassy in Ukraine is urging Americans to flee that country immediately, just 6 months into the Russian-Ukrainian war. So I think the moral of the top 5 stories this evening is that your government's justice moves very, very slow. White House announces cancellation or extension, God knows what. They also are now saying that Trump kept more than 700 pages of classified documents. So not just the 300 that's getting reported widely. This has been updated to 700 pages of, let's emphasize that again, classified documents. You know, the ones that used to get, like, you know, the death penalty for possessing or leaking to people. In kind of more fun news, Paul Pelosi, husband of the House Speaker, plead guilty to a DUI. That's kind of cool. There are a couple reasons
that people like us.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. So a lot of people are talking, including this guy Jack Cowell, about why on earth you would keep that many documents. First answer: revenge, blackmail, or profit. Which honestly sounds pretty good. You know, and he does some pretty good speculation here about, like, you know, if you were a businessman and you were friends with like people in Saudi Arabia and Russia, you know, like what kind of a bidding war could you get started on that? Well, what would Israel pay for some good secrets that you got there? You know, or, you know, maybe you've got some dirt on the French president. You need an endorsement. Maybe you could turn that around, or you'll release stuff. So, you know, revenge, profit, blackmail. Michael Cohen, his former attorney, came out and said that he believed that it was actually blackmail for the DOJ, in saying that if you do not release me and not take me to jail, and by the way, this is Michael Cohen, his attorney, if you don't release me and not put me in jail, I might leak these secrets through all of my loyal ditto head, you know, red hats, to leak the information to, I don't know, the Russians, the Chinese, the Iran, who knows, you know what I mean? And I was like, my God, that's what his attorney is saying. I was trying to streamline the news, so I thought I would just put in some stuff that was easy, like, just a regular segment that Boebert said something stupid, because she does, like, pretty much every week. Most recently, I believe it was stuff about she didn't see that the separation of church and state was in the Constitution, you know, because it's right there in the First Amendment. And, you know, she just skimmed right over that part as a lawmaker who supports the Constitution, for frack's sake. Anyway, so there was that. But, you know, she always pretty much does that. And then, you know, Fox News, they always say some stupid stuff. They're just whipping around all over the place with the Mar-a-Lago. It's been really fun to watch them flip all over the place. Despite the fact that all the messages came straight from Donald Trump. Like, he sent out messages on his, like, whatever, his Twitter wannabe setup is, or his, emails or whatever. And then his lackeys pick up on it. He says, Mar-a-Lago is currently under siege, which he said after they'd left. They did it that morning and packed all the boxes. He's like, then that leader of the FBI is a communist or a liberal or whatever word he was using, but it's Christopher Wray, a lifelong Republican that he appointed to direct the FBI. Then it was really crazy. Trump's lawyers on Tuesday started saying that the FBI might have planted evidence. So minutes later, Fox is saying that the FBI planted evidence. And then on Wednesday, Rand Paul, a sitting member of fucking Congress, says maybe the FBI planted evidence to entrap him. How would we know? Anyway, it was truly fun to watch all of the excuses flipping around. In fact, my favorite was that the evidence was planted and it was declassified by the president.
Oh,
so, I mean,
dude,
not
it
enough
just hit me. Are you sharing the wrong screen?
I don't know.
All we see is Google, yo.
Yeah, I got nothing happening there. So I'll just go back to here. Anyway, the funniest part for me, though, was that the evidence by the end of the week on Fox was both planted by the FBI and declassified by Donald Trump. And
Right.
I don't think
That's right.
enough people gave him credit for declassifying those planted documents. I mean, that was really nice of him.
Very cunning.
Very
Cunning of him.
In a small triumph, the Stop Woke bill that DeSantis was passing was an injunction. There was an injunction filed by the judge. So at least some people have realized that he's insane.
This
Crawford
man looks like an adult baby.
Oh, he truly does. He truly.
I don't know why, but he looks like it, like a bad toddler. Like
he reminds me of those dolls.
Baby. Yeah.
Those dolls with the little belly, and you squeeze them, and their eyes and their ears pop out. I want to do that with him. You know what I mean? Woohoo! Yeah. That's kind of what I want to do. So, anyway, so that got stopped, and that was pretty cool. Last week, you may have heard that Bernie said that the CHIPS Act was a big giveaway to the high tech industry, and that even the Inflation Reduction Act was pretty scary, that we were giving a lot of money away to these big companies, not getting anything in return. And my Democrat friends jumped all over me saying, yawn, and Bernie, and what does he know? And then, let's see here. Ford said, "Oh, well, we might have to cut our earnings, and even though we're going to get a big boost because of the electric vehicles credit, and a lot of shares of Tesla and Rivian and General Motors and Ford were all going up when the big subsidy was going in there, and it was all just a super happy positive thing. And then yesterday, Ford decided to lay off 3,000 workers." So, good thing we passed that bill to give them lots of money with no strings attached. And for another ongoing segment, the weirding of the weather report. This week's weirding of the weather, the Dallas flash floods. Cars were trapped in chest-high water on Interstate 30. There were tons of footage, especially like some drone footage of multiple rescues from the waterways, people being, swum out of cars. But in the worldwide flash flood score, as kept by Flood List, by the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecast, even though they took the title there with the deadliest floods in Texas, Yemen, 90 people killed, India, 20 people killed, Pakistan, 700 dead. So the only saving grace is that there was a state of emergency declared for the floods in West Virginia. So America's still in the race, but we're not in the top 10, guys, and we got to pull it together. Because apparently what happened was it has been a severe drought all around the Texas area, and it baked the dirt into just clay. And then they got hit with torrential rains, which just could not be dealt with at all. In local news, sadly, Blaze Pizza has closed. And the manager happened to post this. Let me say that I was GM when this location closed, and it was completely unexpected. Sales were higher than they've been. Food cost was down. The reviews were great. We got the best score in our Steritech and Blaze history. That's like a food cleanliness auditing service. It was very, very upsetting telling my staff they no longer had a job. And I'm not going to lie, I cried. So She worked 5 months straight with no days off to make sure that everybody was happy. And that's not how decisions are made in business America. So apparently there's that. So we always like to close out after the weird weather and the local stuff with some animal news. And I can't believe this, but there was just too much animal news. How funny is that? First off, this is a spider with a drop of water on its head that looks like it has a flower in it. Now we've seen the drop of water on the spider head mating ritual before, but this one has a flower refracted on top, and that's just freaking amazing. So the spider appears to have a flower on its head, but actually it's just a refraction of the flower in the drop of water. That is from David Naveas.
Got a big ass frown. This sad little spider. Look at that.
Well, I mean, he might be dead.
Fucking hope so.
Anyway, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's got to be right. That's our story. That's got to be our story for the week. No, because Credible Hulk, Credible Hulk, and if you're not following Credible Hulk, I don't know what you're even doing on the internet. He has posted this thing about volcano snails. Their shells are made of iron. They live around hydrothermal vents. They can reach up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Has scales, lives around extreme heat, protected by iron. That's a dragon. It's a dragon snail. It's freaking cool. And I was like, oh, that's got to be it, right? That's got to be it. Surely, that's got to be it. No, the wood bison, which were declared extinct in the 1900s, they found a tiny herd of them up in a remote area of Canada, and they're bringing them back to the United States. They brought them back to the Alaskan Wildlife Conservation Center, and now we've got like 100 of these woodland bison there. And there's only like 4 kinds of bison and buffalo in the world, or like 5, whatever. There's one more now, and we just got them. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was like, but even that, not the best. No, this is a bizarre little sea slug that the Melibe viridis, and it uses its head to catch food. Like, I can't just, I'm going to have to be looking at it as I describe it because there's no other way. But it looks like a piece of seaweed, and then it stretches out its head. Its head is transparent and has like these little, like, I don't know, like curtains to either side of it, I guess, lips or whatever. And it just reaches out, slams down to the ground, and like picks stuff up. This sea slug kind of looks like a branch from an evergreen. It has these big green, like leafy appendages, and this head that's like a ball, but then it just stretches out into a tennis racket and smacks the seafloor. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And that is our fun animal story to close up the news from Facebook from the Blind for August 23rd, 2022. Now I hand it off to my lovely co-host, Michael, with strictly funny memes.
Listen, couple of things. First things first, I'm the realist. Second, that dragon snail thing, that looked like, I'm just going to say it, it looked like the crypt keeper's vagina. Number one, it was gross, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Number 3, wood bison was my nickname in college. And number 4, that fucking sea slug thing you just did, that bizarre sea slug, A, not a meme, definitely a video, listeners. Sorry for that. We didn't mean to betray our own values. B, it was fucking disgusting. Everything about that was wrong. And I'm against it. This isn't what I want.
I want to see them fight. I want to see them flex at each other with their heads.
Listen, I want the scientists to stop dicking around in the ocean and finding this fucking shit. Okay? I'm not supposed to know it's happening down there. I don't want to know. Leave me out of it. Wood bison out. Okay. Moving on. Round 1.
By the way, if nobody else is watching, the kitten angrily mouthing Michael's words.
I'm not a cat. So this is a picture of a douchebag with slicked back hair on a yacht sipping wine, and it says, Santa making sure poor kids get proportionately cheaper presents. Trash can Paul, out of the gate. He's got a picture of Quebec. And it says, holy shit, they made being French worse. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of trash can Paul this round. Just
Nice.
be warned. Got a picture of the globe, like where there's two, globes next to each other. It's like if you cut it in half and made it two-dimensional. Inside you, there are two rats. And then there's two rats superimposed over the picture. And it says, one has the plague. The other has the plague. You have the plague. Trash can Paul again. Now this is, okay, I'm going to describe this as I see it. Seems like this is a woman in mountain climbing gear. And she's jumping from a satellite to grab a backpack that looks like it's suspended from a bridge or something. I don't know.
It's from a new movie.
Midair. Oh, it's from a new movie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. That makes more sense.
It's like a radio tower.
Diving across, lunging towards this backpack is labeled People in Ohio. Lunging toward the worst personality traits of all time. This is a picture of a guy in the back of a cop car with his AirPods in, and he's got his hands over his eyes, and he's looking really, really, really stressed. And it says, me, if they make stealing from the Walmart self-checkout illegal. If they make that illegal. All right. Pretty Little One Deactivated 202 says, I hate having a body. So high maintenance. Shower this, eat that, drink this, sleep that. It's all very stupid. Yeah. Spence at Spence Den says millennials walking around like they rent the place. I shouldn't laugh about that sitting in here in the house I own. At Robin the Bird says millennial culture is ready to face everything except for answering a phone call from an unknown number. Mark at the Cat Whisperer says parenting is telling your kid they can't have a cookie before bed, knowing full well you'll have an entire sleeve of cookies after they go to bed. So true. Raw Sauce, also my nickname, says I want to record an audio book that's 8 hours of breathing and page turning. Then just, oh, you mean out loud? Kiara says, you know a book is good when it has you ruining your sleep schedule. That's a good book. And Omniscient Orb of Pancakes says renting, and there's a picture here, and this is a picture of a man with square glasses and an impossibly big round head, like Brainiac, for those of you who celebrate. renting and returning 10 books a day from my local library while subtly increasing.
Oh, Michael,
where did he go? We lost him.
Subtly increasing the size of my cranium with latex and makeup until they say something.
I think. Nope, that's it. Don't read that one. All right. Can you guys hear me back now?
You cut out, but I filled in.
Weird. Oh,
No.
your mom was texting me.
Uh,
So back to you, Eric. Your mom says, call her. Call her later. Oh, no, that's me. I'll call her.
You got it? That's cool, man. All right. And now on to round one, the ostensibly wholesome round, as we have branded it and trademarked with the U.S. Patent and Trade Office for Facebook for the Blind. Getting into round one, coming out strong with Kristen Yanakis, friend of the show, who's also in the audience, who posted Dilly at Arby's Mozstick, says, yelled downstairs, Mom, Dad's home. She did not find it as funny as I did. We have a man posing with a box that said cremated remains. I noticed this was reposted in Aborted Dreams. Yelled downstairs, "Mom, Dad's home." I mean, that takes dad joke to a whole new level. Really.
Mm.
And by the way, Chris, the thread on this on Kristen's page, gross, Kristen. Gross.
Fun fact, that is how the only way you can ship cremains is USPS, and it's in that box, and that's exactly what it looks like.
Does that dude
Wow.
bring it? Is it the whole scene?
It's delivered by your postal man. You have to sign for it.
Oh, that's super creepy.
It costs $99.
Thank you for that. That's
You're
excellent.
welcome.
All right, moving on. I got something for the wholesome round that is the wholesomest thing I may have ever posted. Since Paul Rudd is trending on Twitter, and he was at the time, I thought I'd share this story about him I saw on Reddit once. I worked at CVS at the time, and my manager had just eliminated smoke breaks, so I'm on edge and going nuts. Paul Rudd walks in, sees me. For reference, I am generally disheveled in my appearance. I had a wizard beard braided down to almost my nuts, and I had worked overnight unloading the truck before popping on the register. He looks at me and just goes, "Rough night?" I laughed and nodded. I slurped at my coffee, which was more or less empty at this point. My boss comes out of the office to yell at me about something, and Paul drops what he's doing, runs to my counter, rings the little bell to interrupt the boss. I run over, and he has a single Butterfinger on the counter. I ring him out, and he laughs. He says, "How long you been here?" Truthfully, I told him 10 hours. I sputter something about loving him and fundamentals of caring. He looks at my boss and says the best thing ever. "I need Bob here to help me to my car with my purchase. My back hurts. You mind taking over for him?" So I go outside. He bums a cigarette off me and bought me coffee. Then wouldn't let me inside until I finished a whole cigarette and half my coffee. Boss came out to bitch, and he laughs and says, "I still need his help loading my car." Honestly, it's actually probably the single best customer moment I've ever had in my entire time in retail. Dude's goddamn awesome. Paul Rudd, trending. For the wholesome round of Facebook for the blind. Also, locally, I thought this one was excellent. If you are a friend of Kayla Brown or know about Fire Doll Studio, she got a Woman's Net grant for her little chandlery. So the July 2022 Amber Grant was awarded to Fire Doll Studio, which are grants for women in business. And, visit Fire Doll Studio, say hello to Kayla. I mean, that's congratulations.
Yay.
That's absolutely excellent. Friend of the show and Nashville comedian Sidney Davis Jr. Jr. And if you're not following Sidney Davis Jr. Jr., why are you on the internet? Sidney Davis Jr. Jr. posts, "My podcast has generated 21 cents in ad revenue. Step aside, hoes." And this is like 5 hours ago. 4.5 hours ago, she said, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever posted. Why does it have 100 likes?" I took a nod from Michael, who said he likes to check out a lot of whatever's trending on Twitter. So I hit trending on Twitter a lot, and I saw Trumpansies, and I clicked on it, but it was so much material I really couldn't figure out what it was. But this one came up a lot, which is just a picture of Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene yelling in Congress in exactly the same pose as these two, I don't know, howler monkeys, baboons, something like that. Maybe they're chimpanzees. They might be chimpanzees. They're sort of reddish. I don't know.
No. These are.
Oh no, orangutans.
Are they orangutans? They look like orangutans.
I don't.
How are monkeys?
Maybe baboons.
Hey, no. What I mean?
Yeah.
The point is, they both got their mouths open in the shape, and it's exactly that. Look at the mouths on Boebert and MTG. It's exactly the same. All right, this next one is a picture. Beautiful piece of graffiti here. We have Princess Leia, and she has a spray can in her hand, and she has just written in a beautiful font, "Fuck this imperialist bullshit." I thought was very nice and an excellent part of our wholesome round. Got about 3 more left here. Friend of the show, Jana Lee posts "ugly and sad" at Spooky Goth Loser. Me hits a spider web down with a broom. Spider, wow. Me puts up fake spider web decorations for Halloween. Spider, wow. All right, second to last for the wholesome round. Total Nerd posts Megan Cross, Megan Lynn FTW, who says, can a ghost and a zombie come from the same person? I'm so amused by the image of a ghost watching in horror as their zombified body shambles around. Zombie brains. Ghost. This is so embarrassing. Please, Phil, get it together. We were a lawyer, for God's sake. And finally, the Drake Gatsby at Drake Gatsby posts me. Man, T-Rexes look so cool. Scientist. No, actually, they look like giant idiot birds. Me. Oh, bummer. Well, they were great hunters, though. Scientist. There's evidence they were scavengers. Me. Okay, maybe just stop ruining scientists. They wore socks with sandals.
They were socks with sandals. That's awesome.
Oh, we got somebody new. Something dinged. All right, back to you, Michael, man.
Somebody's here. Right.
Somebody's here.
Emilio's here.
And Jack said, hey, Emilio. Hey, and Jack said, Megamind. Yes, the latex head did look a lot like Megamind. I agree. Great film, by the way. Good sound.
This is round 2.
Round 2, the irreverent round.
The irreverent round. That's right. It's going to be a lot of glow fuck yourself in the irreverent round. Just a heads up. So Go Fuck Yourself has his first one, and it's a picture of a woman sipping red wine and looking a little dead in the eyes. And it says, when you tell him you're bi, but leave out the polar. This is a picture of a person in a straitjacket facing the padded wall, sitting on a bed. And it says in impact font, I got too silly. C, a friend of the show, C, at Heron Che says, why are threesomes only for sex? Why can't I join in a couple's argument if I want to?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Now, friend of the show, Mocking Nerd, we love you, Mocking Nerd, says, pretty sure my clowns are about to lay eggs. Let me start over. Quote, pretty sure my clowns are about to lay eggs, end quote, is an absolutely terrifying sentence coming from anyone other than my coworker with a saltwater home aquarium. So this one's a little strange. It's a ficus, like bonsai tree, and it says when plants find out about Instagram. And at first it just looks like it's 2 pictures of ficus. But if you look just a little bit closer, this ficus really is shaped like a voluptuous woman. And on the left, the roots literally look like a woman on all fours showing off her boobs. And then the next picture over, it looks like an ass pic.
Sorry.
What was that?
Nothing.
It's just that this does look like that of all the ficus trees, this one would be an influencer. Trash Can Paul's back. Friend of the show, Trash Can Paul. We literally could not do the show without you.
True.
Here he has a diagram. 3 circles that connect and 1 not circle that somehow manages to not touch any of the other 3. It's all by itself. One of the circles is labeled making good music. Another circle is labeled making interesting music. Another circle is labeled being a decent human being. And the thing that's not touching any of those 3 is John Lennon. Trash Can has a thing about the Beatles because Trash Can Paul also posted a picture of this shirt. Very iconic silhouette of the Beatles walking across the Abbey Road. It's the Abbey Road cover. Except instead of saying the Beatles, it says overrated. Little Red Riding Hood has a picture of, it just says wizard hat, cowboy brim. And then there's just a picture of a wizard hat with a cowboy brim. Listen, they're not all diamonds, okay? This is a picture of a fucking emoji looking thing covering its mouth and like about to crack up laughing. And it says, when I purposefully spread misinformation about my neighbors doing witchcraft so I can take their farmland. It's a Salem witch trials joke, everybody.
That's a great Salem witch trial joke.
Second Salem witch trials joke of the show.
Nice.
The first was by me about Babert. I think I have like 1 or 2 memes left, so Sorry for not warning you. I have
It's all right.
3 memes left. This is a picture of Christian Bale. And he has like it says, "Are you Batman?" No. And then there's a picture of Christian Bale who's really pale except for where his eyes, mouth, and chin are. So you can perfectly see the Batman mask as though he tanned with it on. Anyway. Next is Trash Can Paul. He's got a picture of Christian Bale standing, wearing his superhero suit, his Batman suit, and it says, "Sometimes I wonder why Marvel fans exist." And my last meme of this round, that's right, everybody. It's 2 cans of Dr. Pepper that have been cut up with an X-Acto knife, and now it says Dr. PP. That's all. It just says Dr. PP.
Nice.
That's it for the irreverent round from me. Let's see what you got, Eric.
Well, you know, one of my favorite things to do with irreverence is just to make fun of terrible people. And this week, Jordan Peterson makes a startling confession that I simply must play for you all.
The globalists take the life of your children? It's very likely. If you're Dutch, ask yourself, why? I have a message for birds. Stop flying. If you dare, I'll splash you with icy and salty slush as I drive by in my Ford Bronco SUV. Existing in pain, don't you think? Gamers are rising up, as they should. The planet will descend into chaos. This will devastate Australia. Emergency! We have to make everyone poorer now. I should have all the money. Critics of my view will say, if we make the poor poorer, life will be more difficult and less rewarding. This would be good. How do we know? Delusional thinking. Did you watch the Better Call Saul finale? That was something. Here is the confession. I killed 40 hookers in May of this year alone. Really? Will the globalists take the life of your
Oh my God, dude. The thread was phenomenal too. There's just a whole string of people posting pictures of him saying, really, 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 really. Loved it. This next meme comes in the format of the world's most interesting man, except that somebody has pasted on the face of Ted Cruz. And so Ted Cruz is saying, I may not be perfect, but what I lack in ethics, courage, sanity, civility, morals, compassion, dignity, empathy, loyalty, and any form of common sense or humanity, I more than make up for with my complete lack of intelligence. He is the world's most disgusting man.
He's such a piece of shit.
This one got great response on our Facebook for the Blind memecast page from Breaking News. Man invents fictional scenario, then gets angry about it. Men after some whiskey, and we have 2 men looking at each other. Want to drink some more? Yes. Women, and it's just 3 women just going at it, basically. It's really hoping Shanklin to be here.
Women get everything.
I know, right? Whiskey and pretty dresses. I'm jealous. Vellum and Vinyl reposted largish cat, who says, I do wish people would relearn the ability to think things are dumb without making up reasons why they're also evil, actually. Personal taste doesn't always have to be a moral stance. The personal isn't that political. I told a friend of mine I didn't care for Selena Gomez the other day, and he asked me, what's she done? I don't fucking know, bro. I just think her music is boring. I'm tired. Got 4 more queued up here for this round. Lauren at iLauren A says, if you have a truck with balls hanging from it, and your truck wasn't born with balls, and you put the balls on an elective process, you have a trans truck. Congratulations. Your gender reassignment therapy for your truck. IFL Science repost Rudy Mustang at Rudy_Mustang saying, can't believe Leonardo DiCaprio yelled, I'm on top of the world from the Titanic, a ship that was at sea level, the scientifically lowest altitude in the world. He was nowhere near the top. He was literally at the bottom. What a stupid idiot.
That's a great point.
It really is. Really is.
These are thinkers.
Yeah, it's true. I liked it. I might have used this one last week, but I still loved it, man. It's a picture of the Cracker Barrel, and it's being like taken over by the January 6th riot guys. They're climbing the sign and everything. It says, "Make sausage meat again." Again, I think this was actually filed in breaking news. Man invents fictional scenario and then gets angry about it, which I was turned on to by a friend of the show, Mike Ingram. And if you're not following, man invents fictional scenario and then gets angry about it. Well, that might be a good idea because there's a lot every day. Okay, got two more for round two, the irreverent round. This is He-Man saying, "Remember, kids, if she has an apple, she has a banana." And then in the bottom, we have Skeletor replying, "Joke's on you. I'm into that shit."
Yeah, right. That reminds me of the one I shared last week where it's like a Valentine and the Valentine just says, "I don't care if it's mostly pee."
My God, I hate myself for getting that joke. Okay. Last one of the irreverent round. This is just a picture of the sign outside Chicago up there at 7001 Volmer Road, the Amazon Fulfillment Center, where somebody has spray painted, "Bezos is a bitch."
I have to know, is that what town is that?
I don't. I've been there. I know I've been there.
Yeah, that's Frankfurt, dude.
Well.
I just looked it up.
Yeah, if you're heading to 7001 Frankfurt, Illinois, 7001 Volmer Road, Franklin, Illinois, and you happen to have some paint in your car, you know.
Yeah, fucking bolden that shit up.
Yep.
AOL.com, Lucas Battle says, "White people refer to their grandparents like, my Nana and G-Pa are coming over tonight. Have you met my Nini, Benini, and Grand Piano? Oh my God, you would love them. My Nene makes the best cookies and my G-string tells the best jokes. What do you call your iPod Nano and granite counter?" I just learned that I say his last name wrong, and I've already forgotten the right way to say it, so I'm just going to say it wrong. But this is a friend of the show and a friend of mine, Mason. It's not Menenga.
You cut out, and I can't see it. Menenga?
What?
There's nothing on the screen.
Menenga? Nothing on your screen. Are you happy now?
Menenga is a name.
Is this what you wanted?
Yeah. Take it all
Right.
off.
Anyway, Mason Menenga. Can you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Says, "For God so loved the world." No, so he says, "For God so loved everyone who had the right theology, that whoever believes the right theology shall not perish but have eternal life." Rad Dad. Happy you made it this week, Rad Dad. Friend of the show, Rad Dad. Has two pictures. One of a little chicken leg guy, and it says, "Me who trains legs 3 times a week." And then another picture of a guy with just like huge, strong calves. And it says, "A 42-year-old father of 3 who hasn't seen the inside of a gym since the Cold War." This fucking bitch does not know when the Cold War was. Glow, fuck yourself. This is an ad for Snickles. Really satisfies. And it's a picture of a Snickers that's, well, it's just perfectly encased in a pickle. Snickles, everybody. I don't know. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So this says, when you bake a fantastic cake but have nowhere to post it because internet doesn't exist yet. And I really, I don't know what's going on in this picture, but it's definitely a man walking with a cake on a stick. So walking by a group of people, posting his cake. This says, "Voicemail, I have to talk to you about something. Call me back." And then there's a picture of My Little Pony, and it says, "My Little Panic Attack."
I like that one a lot.
Ali Colbert says, "I wish I could Google search my own mind and just type in stuff like, what are my favorite movies, or what was the name of the place with the really good egg rolls." It's coming. Oh man, this spoke to me this week. This is Fucking Sober, who I really, really, really love. It's a poorly computer drawn man, a poorly computer drawn picture of a man throwing up. And it says, me remembering how I overshared when I could have been mysterious. Every day. Go fuck yourself is back. Picture of I forget his name, but he's the bad guy from Breaking Bad.
Oh,
And he says, you smoke at parties. I get high to do the dishes. We are not the same. Trash Jones says, I'm doing a lot of finding out for very little fucking around, actually.
no.
Would love to fuck around. Would love to fuck around more and find out less if possible. And Louis Brissetti says, when you was already in the shower but your stomach hurting, and then it's a picture of a naked man sitting on the toilet who is somehow covered head to toe in soap. Trash Can Paul I have two more.
Okay.
Trash Can Paul is back. It's a picture of the Goodfellas, and it says, when gambling, you can win 2,000% of your money, but you can only lose 100%. Do the math. And that's one way to look at it. Last one for this round. Says, this meal prepping shit too easy. And there's just like meal prepping containers, and one says Tuesday and one says Wednesday, and both of them just have money in it, and one's labeled Burger King and the other is labeled Popeyes. No problem. All right, back to you, Eric, for round 3, the penultimate round.
The penultimate round, getting it loaded up because it's just so good. There's so much. It's so much fun that I'm loading it up. Loading it up. All right. There we go.
I fell asleep. Are you going to share me?
I don't know, maybe. Buy me a drink or something. This one's posted by The Unconventional. It's reposting Henry Southern Limited, who says, art collectors, my vault is hermetically sealed. Comic collectors, everything is ordered by issue and in plastic with backers. And toy collectors, I've never even opened this box. Book collectors, erupting from a pile of books. I have no idea what I was looking for when I started. Oh, I'm in this meme and I love myself. This next one is from friend of the show, Jason Puckett, who's passed along the Chaser article, Marriage Cannot Change. Claims the church founded solely to change the definition of marriage.
No shit.
The church founded so that Henry VIII could sleep around on his wives has explained that marriage is a sacred tradition that they will fight to protect. Loved it.
Yeah, where the fuck do the Anglicans get off? Anyway.
Let's see here. This next one I really like. We've got some corporate logos over on the side from Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and Google and Instagram and Apple and YouTube. And it says, we're going to censor you to protect our corporate profits. And then we have a guy in a red MAGA hat who says, this is literally communism. Which, yeah. This next one, breaking news, man events, fictional scenario. I think it's angry about it, and if you're not following them, fine. This one is just a picture of a police officer leading away Donald Trump in handcuffs. He's got his red tie over one shoulder, and it's been captioned, I have a dream. And it's true. Get freaking on with it. The Hey Little Man meme comes from a friend of the show, George Cruikshank. Hey little man, how's humanity doing? The guy says to little planet Earth. And the news story says, Euronews, rainwater everywhere on Earth is unsafe to drink due to forever chemicals, study finds. Little man, third panel. Little man, fourth panel. Jesus fucking Christ. And yeah, that was fun. Snuck in a depressing news story. Didn't even see it coming, did you? Nope. This one's been really getting passed around quite a bit. The Psychology Today article, straight, the headline, The Rise of Lonely Single Men, Dating Apps and a Drastically Changing Relationship Landscape. Now, the bullet points are what everybody's talking about, because the first one is dating opportunities for hetero men are diminishing as relationship standards rise. Basically, currently men that are on the dating apps do not meet healthy relationship expectations. And women have apparently decided to raise their standards, and the internet is piling on big time.
We all knew this day would come, fellas.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, well, I've always, how many times have you thought to yourself, we could stop a lot of problems in the world if women would just collectively stop fucking men causing the problems. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to stop.
Yeah, it does. You're totally right. It does sort of feel like we're blaming women for men being bad.
Yeah.
But, I guess what we're really saying is like, I don't know.
No.
I'm glad they're lonely.
No, I think we men are saying the same thing we've said throughout history. Chicks, stop dating dicks. That's pretty much it. You're just encouraging them. All right, moving on. This is hilarious, man. This is literally coming from a right winger. So this is my face when they try to fact check me. And we have a very bored looking child in a sweater. It says about 80 to 90,000 IRS agents going after normal people's money and not just the rich. And this is hilarious because they're in the latest Inflation Reduction Act. They have included money for 80 to 90,000 IRS agents. But they're actually not agents. There's like IT guys, janitorial, administrative. There are some people that are going to be in there to go after rich people, which is great because they've never had the staffing or the budget to go after rich people. But these guys are like, I got it partially right. There was 90,000 IRS agents in there, so I'm right. It was really good. This is the 3-panel where we have an arm reaching in from the right labeled Fox News, Breitbart, and OAN. And he's reaching for the head of a man's head labeled with the GOP elephant. And the hand opens up, the hand of right-wing news opens up the back panel and pulls out a chip that says trans people existing and replaces it with the FBI. And it says click. And then we see the GOP head still angry, exactly as angry as in the first panel. But instead of directing it at trans people, now it's directed at the FBI, which is totally true. And I got into quite a few fun discussions. Hey, here's Matt Gaetz, and reminding you that if you ever feel behind in life, remember that Matt Gaetz didn't get his first high school girlfriend until he was almost 40. He's a terrible person. There's a lot of them in this party. Hey, the GOP with a picture of Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, big smile, finger in the air. GOP. See, we told you there were sex trafficking pedophiles in Congress. Yeah. So now you probably remember, like a little while ago, man, it was all about the pedophile. Before that, it was all about IRS. So I was on this funny thread, and this one's got a picture from WandaVision, and we've got the next door witch giving the big obvious wink, the big sitcom wink. And she's posted, we're hiring 80,000 new IRS auditors, but don't worry, they're only here for rich people. Wink. And lots of commentary. Ha, 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 ha. And people just going all out on hating on the IRS. So I jumped on at a certain point, and I just said, let's see here. They're arming them. And there were a whole lot about how they're arming them. The IRS has always been armed and whatnot. And I said, hey, man, do you know who liked Zacchaeus, the tax collector? Because they said no one likes a tax man. Say, you know who likes Zacchaeus, the tax collector? Jesus.
Not free taxing, though. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Somebody said, well, Jesus pissed a lot of people off. And I said, yeah, if he came back today, MAGA would just crucify him.
So let's just let's double down since we're going Jesus.
Yeah, we are.
After Zacchaeus, the tax man, encounters Jesus, he goes back and gives all the money back that he stole from the common citizen. So fucking do that. You know, the state of Illinois both sued me and sent me, they sued me for not paying taxes and then sent me a refund and said they underpaid me my refund. Fucking same year.
We live in stupid times, man.
Get fucked.
All right, more fun.
I did cash that check though, shit.
I'll bet, man. This is Tim Williams at Tim Williams Art. passing along Harriet Hageman, also known as the last face you see before you wake up in a Motel 6 ice-filled bathtub with one of your kidneys missing.
Again.
This is the candidate. I can't even remember. She's running in Wyoming against Cheney. And man, if the eyes are the window to the soul, Wyoming is in trouble. Look at this.
Her ideas are much uglier than her.
Well, dude, I looked at these eyes and that shade of lipstick, which is not a color that a straight man can name. I have no idea, but woo, creepy. All right, got about 3 more here. No, I want to do this one. I don't understand cryptocurrency, but I would definitely be interested in cryptid currency from Matt Oren. And we've got a coin for Bigfoot, like a Bigfoot commemorative coin, and a Chupacabra commemorative coin, and so and a Loch Ness Monster commemorative coin, and my personal favorite, Mothman silver collectible cryptid currency from Matt Oren. Right? You guys are excited. You'd buy it. I'm getting a franchise.
I would seriously buy this shit. Dude, those are fucking dope.
Right? I thought that would.
Especially the Bigfoot.
Yeah, excellent. I stumbled across this on Instagram, and I don't know how to share Instagram on Facebook for the Blind, so I'm just going to tell you what happened. This woman is blind. She is on Instagram at can't see, all one word, can't see _ and she says it really baffles me why people do this, let alone to a blind person. She has been sent she doesn't say dick pics, but she's been sent dick pics, and she shares what her automated phone reader will say to her. The Seeing AI app tells her, and it says, one face, probably a mushroom growing in the ground. It's just like, yeah, why do people do this? It's just like, she's like, I guess people don't believe that I'm blind. But even if I could see, why would you do this? Again, man, I cannot wait until the economics papers come out that compare this, because this has got to be the most extreme supply versus demand deficit that I've ever seen. It's like, it's got to be infinity to zero in the supply demand ratio there. And finally, for the end of round 3, before we get on to our post with the most, this is from friend of the show, George Cruikshank. We have a 4-panel cartoon. We see 2 heads, and they're approaching a large building, and it's an orphanage. And the man says to the woman, "Oh, honey, look at these poor orphans." And we see orphans, and they're huddled in raggedy clothing. And then they point at little Stuart Little, and it says, "We'll take that rat."
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Friend of the show, Marty Baldwin says, "I hate Stuart Little." It's not his fault, but damn.
Rough.
Indeed.
All right, my post with the most this week comes from Matt Zemak at Matt Zemak, who says TikTok would also be a great name for a senior citizens dating app. TikTok.
Okay, right.
Eric,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Time. No. I don't think it's funnier if I explain it. It's like time is running out. So we're on this dating app because it's people your age and maybe a little younger, and they're like, "Oof, should probably find somebody before I die." TikTok.
I got it. That's good. Yeah, I'm following. I'm totally following here.
From the top. TikTok would also be a great name for a senior citizens dating app.
Yeah.
These are the jokes, people.
Yeah. Like kind of reminding you, like, to, lower your standards. Bring them back down.
It's reminding you that you're going to die soon because you're mad old.
So you should lower your standards. That's how I'm reading it.
You can hope. I don't know. Yeah.
That's true. All right. I had a 3-way tie.
Did I talk so long that you did not? You just picked 3 fucking things you want to share right now. You're a goddamn liar. Go ahead. Tell us your lies.
Mike Gin at Shut Up Mike Gin says landlord complains she couldn't afford replacement mail key lock. Worriedly asking, what happened to the $1,700 I just gave you? And the first reply is, have some compassion for these people. They're living your paycheck to your paycheck. This one, friend of the show, I think TD, I might have gotten this one from you, man. Reposting Rob the Geek says, comedians, if you're not offending someone, you're not doing comedy right. Mitch Hedberg, I think Bigfoot is blurry. That's the problem. It's not the photographer's fault, and that's extra scary to me because there's a large out of focus monster roaming the countryside.
Yeah, that is a fucking great joke. And Mitch Hedberg is just the best at it. Like most of his comedy was clean. His blood, not so much.
Oh. Wow.
But his jokes were clean as shit.
Yeah. The day I judge a comedian by the quality of his blood over the quality of his jokes is the day you can shoot me.
Oh, 100%. There's no drug test. There's no drug test in doing comedy. Can you imagine?
Yeah, they don't do drug testing in comedy or restaurant service. You know why? Because then nothing would be open.
Or academia. They tried in Pennsylvania a few years ago to give drug tests to the professors, and 80% of the faculty resigned. And then they said, "Fuck that! We changed our mind. You can just do your drugs."
Nice. All right, let me do my post with the most, and we will call this episode done. Atheist activist Chaz Stevens is sending Arabic language "In God We Trust" posters to schools in Texas. A state law requires public schools to display donated "In God We Trust" posters, but it doesn't say the signs have to be in English. Loophole. Atheist sends Texan
Nice
schools
work.
"In God We Trust" signs written in Arabic. And my comment is, when they make it that easy and they let you know right away what triggers them, well, then they're just asking for it.
Yep.
That
Nice
was
gift.
post with the most. And I think that legally constitutes an officially quantified episode of Facebook for the Blind for August 23rd, 2022.
Love you, George.
Boop. Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.